everyone. How are you doing today? My name is Okini Femi. I want to welcome you to another edition of Shelterness Realty Podcast, the second episode in the year 2025, where you learn, discover, and invest rightly in the real estate. And I have here with me, I have professionals in the industry, built industry, that are well versed in real estate transactions, and they will be dishing out to us what we need to know as far as real estate transaction is concerned in Nigeria today. So right here, I will introduce them. I have an estate surveyor and valuer who has been in the industry for a very long time, and also have a land surveyor who has also been in the industry for a very long time. They understand what the industry and what real estate transaction means, and they will be giving us some of the tips that we need to know when it comes to real estate transaction. So let me welcome the estate surveyor and valuer, Adeyeye Kayode. He's an associate member of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And also I have surveyor Adaku Esther, a well-known female surveyor in the industry. She's very fast, and to be honest with you, you will enjoy this section with her. She's a member of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, and she's ready to dish out a lot of things to us. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So let's quickly go down and see what we have for you today. Like I said, the topic is the role of professionals in real estate transactions in Nigeria. So let me start with our land surveyor. Today in real estate transactions, the role of land surveyor cannot be underestimated. They are very, very important when it comes to real estate transactions, because I feel a lot of people need to do some kind of due diligence and what is actually important for them to know about the property they are buying, be it land or a bit of houses. So can you just expatiate or tell us the major role of land surveyor in real estate transaction?
Okay, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
The role of land surveyor in real estate. Firstly, you want to get professional expertise from a surveyor. You want to know the kind of land you are buying, the title, the landhold. You don't just get a land and just buy. You want to hire a surveyor to help you know the status of the land in alignment with the plan of the government. Then you go ahead. If it's okay with the reason for your purchase or investment, then you can now go ahead to to hire the surveyor or to engage the services of a surveyor in providing a survey plan, which you can now use to perfect the documents of your land.
Okay, so if I can get you rightly and correctly, you are trying to tell us that you cannot actually do without having a survey plan when you are buying a property.
Yes, please.
Okay, so what do we need to look at for on the survey plan? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of survey plan. You can even get your survey plan. Somebody will show you this is a survey plan. Another person will show you this is a survey plan. Do you have anything that we can look out for when you see a survey plan that will tell us that, oh yes, this is original survey plan?
Okay, so firstly, you want to, looking at the authenticity of the survey plan, you want to know the person that signed the survey plan, because on every survey plan, there's supposed to be a signature of a registered surveyor. Okay. Anybody can produce a survey plan, but you need to be sure there's some information on the plan telling you that this is a registered surveyor with the Surveyors Council of Nigeria. Okay. Then you want to look at the title. If I'm buying a property and this person says it belongs to Mr. A, I want to confirm. That is why most times you see on survey plan, it is written plan showing property said to belong to. Because as a registered surveyor, I can't verify. I was invited to come and carry out a survey plan. You're only giving me the name of the person that owns the property. So anything can happen tomorrow, and I might be held responsible. You want to look at the name of the name of the owner of the property, the location. Then most importantly, you want to look at the coordinate, the geographical coordinates on the survey plan. I'm sure you have seen cases whereby somebody does a survey plan in let's say, Awoyaya, and they are putting a coordinate of another place.
Mm.
Maybe the land in Awoyaya is not free. Now they fly the coordinates to another place. So those are important information that you need to see. And the name of the surveyor has to be there so that you can make a reference as a Lausa.
Okay, so if I can also get it correctly, what you're saying rightly is, if I have a survey plan, that does not connote that. Okay, let me say if I have a registered title on a property, that does not mean yes the survey is correct, because you said something about flying coordinates and all that. So does that mean, oh, if I have a title and the name on the title is the same with the name I have on the survey plan, does that mean I don't need to go and check the coordinates? Does that mean I don't need to go through the process of verifying the survey plan before I can go into any land transaction?
Okay, so the first thing you always want to do, no matter how you see a document and maybe your instinct is telling you it's genuine, you want to carry out your due diligence, probably by yourself or through a lawyer.
Okay.
That is versatile with property. Or you go to Alausa yourself and carry out necessary diligence before investing, before pouring your money into such property or investment.
Okay. All right. So let me come back to you and let me ask the estate surveyor we have here.
Okay, sir.
Because I also understand that there is difference between a land surveyor and an estate surveyor, even though a lot of people put the two together. They will say because you are surveyor, is an estate surveyor, is also a land surveyor. They don't know because they hear surveyor. So everybody has their own role, if I'm correct.
Yes,
so what is the role of estate surveyor in the real estate transaction?
Thank you for the privilege. Thank you very much. The role of estate surveyor when it comes to transactions, real estate transactions, we'll start from the pre-transaction. That comes to play whereby you have need to go and check the property to carry out valuation of the property, because there's need to know what the value of the property is. So that would help you determine what will be your purchasing power as a buyer on that land. Then you also need to be able to carry out the necessary inspection. Once you've done the inspection, you've inspected the property, it goes a long way. You'll be able to know if there's any issue with it, whether there's any defects, whether there are damages, or probably there are some potential issues that can spring up later on. So an estate surveyor helps you to go through all these stages. Then during the transaction itself, there's need for you to know how to go about the transfer of the property. That is, you would want to know if this property could be transferred. Like our colleague said, the land surveyor said now, you would want to know whether there are encumbrances on that property, because those are the things that will guide you if I should go further to purchase this property or not.
Okay.
So those are basic things in which estate surveyor does. And if you want to go further, an estate surveyor would endeavor to do possibly the feasibility studies or feasibility analysis to know if what you want to do as a buyer, if it is profitable and if it is viable, if it's something you can do, if it is feasible. So those things are there. Then developmental analysis, and it can also stand as an expert witness in order to come in when there are situations of need for resolutions, disputes, and every other thing. So these are some of the things in which an estate surveyor does in ensuring that the transaction goes successful and is void of everything that can bring about problems or scam.
Oh, okay. So basically you said valuation is very important
Yes.
when buying any property.
Yes, it's very
And
true.
in Nigeria today, I'm not sure a lot of people understand that you need to do valuation or carry out evaluation before going into any real estate transaction. But according to you now, you said valuation is very important. So why do you think valuation is important when buying this property?
Valuation is very important because it helps you determine the value, the worth of a property. It's not just you having money and not investing right, there's still a possibility of you having money and you intend investing, but because you have the money and you just want to pour it out, and you are now putting it on something that does not strike a balance with what you have at hand. So a valuer, what it does is it will help you carry out the valuation and help you get the worth of that property to show that, okay, this amount that I'm putting down or that I'm investing in it is worthwhile. The investment is worthwhile. The investment decision I'm making is appropriate. So that's why it is very essential that you do valuation. And in some other areas also, when it comes to probably where you are sourcing the money from, like a buyer, somebody buying a property now, where you are sourcing the money from, when you want to get the money, may probably be via mortgage,
through banks and all that.
and the rest of it. So they would definitely want to determine whatever you are buying. So that's one of the things even a buyer should do. You need to have an idea of what you want, your objective, you then determine, okay, this is the price of what I want. So if you are sourcing your finance from mortgage, you'll be able to carry out the valuation of the property and, okay, this is the worth of it. So if I'm getting money from the bank, I won't shoot beyond that's
what you can afford.
And I'll be able to sustain it and still get what I need to get based on professional advice that has gone ahead of it.
I think everybody needs to know this, because I'm very sure that a lot of people don't understand what valuer does in real estate transaction. But with this now, I think a lot of people will have more understanding on the role of estate surveyors and valuer in real estate transaction. You also made mention of something which you talk about, the feasibility and viability appraiser.
Yes.
Is it all properties that require this feasibility and viability appraiser?
Yes, I would say that it's very much compulsory, because the reason why I'm saying so is for a buyer or either somebody that is renting a property, there's always a purpose for you doing that. And most likely it's either for an investment. Even if it is just for your own personal use, you are investing money in it. So there is need for you to know if it is feasible, if it is possible. I can go back to our co-speaker, what she said about land survey, knowing the coordinates and the rest of it. If you buy a land that is not within the zoning, are you getting it? You've not done appropriate feasibility or viability study of it. You don't know if it is feasible, what you want to do there, if it is possible. If it is meant for residential and you are doing a commercial, these things, they don't tally, and there is need for you to be aware of it. An estate surveyor will help you do that, ensure that, okay, this thing is feasible, carry out the necessary market research, it is feasible, and also if it will be profitable, depending on if you are going into it for an investment purpose. So this is one of the major reasons why there is every need for one to go into feasibility analysis, feasibility and viability analysis in taking an informed decision on any transaction that we are making.
Okay, all right. So that's fine. So let me go back to the land surveyor. Recently, we have a large-scale demolition in Lagos State, where some properties were demolished on the mainland and also on this Lekki corridor. We have around the Kota and Orchid area. A lot of people said, oh, I have a registered title. I have this. And a lot of people challenge Lagos State government to say, oh, you gave me this, you gave me that. So is there any compliance when it comes to, because you mentioned something about survey plan, knowing what we have on the ground, and exactly there is no encroachment and all that. So is there anything that survey plan has to do with this registered title, most especially when it comes to this demolition? Let me also paint this scenario. I think the Lagos State government, the major demolition we had then was based on encroachment to the waterways, encroachment to the road, canals, and all that. So if I have my survey plan, which is registered, I don't think is necessary, or I don't think I can get a survey plan on waterways. So how do these people get their survey plan, even to the point of them going to perfect the title?
Thank you. Firstly, we must know that the country where we reside, the system is faulted. And that is why you always need to hire necessary professionals when investing in land. And also, we can't take away the fact that some people just go ahead, buy directly without hiring the services of professionals. Or you think the person you are liaising with is a professional and is not a professional. Anybody can sign anybody's signature.
So how do we know a professional?
So that is why we have these bodies. Like for us now, we have the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. If I'm having a business transaction with a surveyor and I'm having doubts, I want to go to the state headquarters. Every surveyor have a unique number. Take the number there. You can ask, oh, what's the registration number? Take the unique number there, and they will tell you, okay, this person is genuine, this person is not genuine. Yeah. And also, we must also know that laws are changing. Each government that comes in and leaves, their zoning laws and regulations are always changing. So these are one of the things that causes that has caused the demolition of properties. But building a waterway is very wrong, because that will cause flooding.
Yeah. So I know it will cause flooding. And are you saying those people that signed the survey plan, because I believe for you to have gone ahead to do your perfection, government must have also checked the survey plan that was submitted and the title documents. Are you saying they are fake surveyors, or they are not in the right position to sign the survey?
So I would say both. There are people that are not in the right position to sign, that are signing. Okay. There's some people that sign other people's signature. I've had a colleague that recently had that problem. Somebody signed a job he did and was signed in another year and submitted, and the documents were perfected.
That's serious.
It is.
Okay, so as a land surveyor, so how do you accurately define boundary of a property? Because I understand that every land has their own boundary.
Yes.
And that's why you don't, with your survey plan, you can define that, this is the status of my land, this is where my land is, and you don't have to encroach into another person. So as a land surveyor, how do you define land boundary for each individual?
Okay, so after carrying out your expertise on the land, you want to take it back to the government and let it sit with the general plan of the state. There is an auto photo of the entire state. You come with the coordinates, it's plotted in. If it's encroaching, it shows there. And necessary adjustments are made. If you need to go back to sites, you have to go back to sites. Because there are cases whereby you're buying a land, maybe from the family, and maybe not from a real estate firm, and they have already encroached on another person's property. So as a surveyor, you go back to the government. They have the entire plan for the state, and with that, you'll be able to rectify.
So is this something, that auto photo you're talking about, is this something that is accessible to everybody, or only to the land surveyors?
It's not accessible to everybody.
So it's only the land surveyor that can access it?
Well, it's to the government surveyors, yes.
So what's the difference between the government surveyors and the private surveyors?
So the government surveyors are working for we are all surveyors, but they are employed by the government.
Okay. So if they are employed by the government, do they have any other work they do apart from what you do as a private surveyor?
No, it's the same work, but just this time they are enforcing the government policies, land policies, or ensuring that we all comply with the zoning system or policies on ground
Oh,
when it comes to development.
okay. So are there areas where has been mapped out in terms of, oh, these are government land? How do you determine those areas? Because I know some people will buy land. I used to hear some terminologies to say around this area, like acquisition. I used to hear some terminologies to say, oh, maybe excision in progress, some as governor's consent and all that. So how do you determine, or is it like you can do survey on all the lands you have in Lagos?
Okay, presently you can do survey on all lands you have in Lagos, but doesn't mean you can perfect your document. Yes.
That's the place.
So
Yeah.
well, if I'm doing survey on all land and I cannot perfect the document, that means
So that is why before you invest in a property, do your due diligence. Don't be in a hurry to invest. Take the necessary step. Hire the surveyor. Don't buy before hiring a surveyor. Get a surveyor before buying.
okay. So what land title do I need to look out for before? Because you said I should do my due diligence. Now, if you're saying that you can do survey on all lands, but you cannot perfect title
Yes.
on all lands, I understand. So now, what do I need to look out for so that if I do my survey, I will be able to perfect the title? Because I know a lot of people are fall victim of this, even structures, and I don't know, probably in years to come, another government might come and say, oh, this land belongs to this and belongs to that. I think we witnessed that of recent around the Bejuleki area. And a lot of people were bringing out their survey plans and all that. So what do we need to look out for? Even if after I've done my due diligence, and what is the registered title or the title a land must have before I can go ahead to perfect my title?
Okay, so I'll give you a few examples of titles the land can have excision, gazettes.
Okay.
Please do not trust excision in progress. What's that common? File number.
File number.
Yeah.
Don't
So
trust
excision
it.
in progress, I think that's common around
Yeah,
here.
very common. Please don't
Oh.
trust it because policies can change. And for a couple of years back, they've not released any gazette. No gazette has been released. So you need to step. It's slow when you hear excision file in progress. And it's in Alausa. They are doing this. You want to take the coordinates of the land first to Alausa. Let them you want to do your charting information. It will give you an insight into the plans of the government for that area.
Okay. All right. So let me come back to our estate surveyor and valuer. In Nigeria today, most especially in Lagos where we are, we notice that a lot of people go into real estate transactions. Some people call themselves agents. At least as a matter of fact, if you check almost all the families today, you will see somebody that is an agent. Maybe when you're looking for these agents, oh, I'm an agent, I have these, I have that. So what is the difference between the role of an estate surveyor and valuer and agent in real estate transactions?
Okay, well, let me take it from this point. An estate surveyor is a professional, still doing something related to that. It still renders the services of an agent. So we will not totally take it out that they don't have something to do with an agent. So when it now comes to clarifying it on the aspect of either a professional and a non-professional, as for the agents that we have around, what an estate surveyor does is that being a professional, there are needs for you to render your services appropriately because there are lots at stake. You have lots of things at stake as a professional. So you wouldn't want to soil your name because of anything, but an agent can go ahead and just do it anyhow. Because for an estate surveyor, you have regulatory bodies, you have regulatory frameworks on ground guiding you. We have SVABON, Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria on ground that regulates whatever we are doing. And we have NIEVS, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. These ones, they check your professionalism, ensuring that you abide by the code of conduct. This is not applicable to a roadside agent. He can either do it anyhow. So when it comes to that, these are the differences that are there, and there will be always need for you to approach a professional because it will be a safeguard to you on that ship you are sailing. It's either it will end up a shipwreck or you arrive safely. So it is necessary that a surveyor, a professional, should be consulted when you begin to engage in real estate transactions, because it will be the one that is licensed. These are the differences. Is licensed, is registered. Are you getting it? And the code of conduct is there to guide, which is being reviewed regularly. And like she said, we have a regular change or an update on the regulatory framework available. So as it's happening, you are keeping abreast with what is in tune. While an agent may not even bother, all he wants is possibly what I can get. But you are more concerned about what you are doing, your profession, the things it holds, your integrity, your devotion. So it becomes key, and it matters to you, and it matters to the profession. And because you are being checked, like a land surveyor too will be checked. The person can refer to the institution, ask for your number. So if you do anything contrary, but for a roadside agent, there's nobody to hold on to. Once it's done with the transaction, whether the aftermath is okay, whether you have been scammed or otherwise, is gone already. He has done what he wants to do. But an estate surveyor cannot do such. It's traceable. Someone that you can always walk up to, and he has a link based on the regulatory bodies that are upholding it or that are guiding it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So the last surveyor said something the other time, Surveyor Adaquesta. She said there is always a unique number attached to each land surveyor, registered land surveyor. Do estate surveyor also have this unique number as well?
Yes, we do also.
Okay. So, and I can easily find out if I'm dealing with any estate surveyor, I can easily go to the institution and find out I can find out the profile of the person I'm dealing with.
Of the individual, of the professional that you are dealing with. Because that number is registered, is known. It stands as either your membership or your associate number, which is traceable. Something that you can easily access and you can get details on.
Okay. So can there be actually check and balance to the activities of agents in Nigeria today?
Well, there can be check and balances. The one of the ways in which these things are possible is by ensuring that the regulatory bodies they absorb the agents by placing the necessary regulations in place that can check them, that can ensure that whatever they are doing does not contradict best practices. Because in one way or the other, we'll find out that agents are everywhere.
Yeah.
You find them easily. The local market is within their grasp. So the best the institution or the regulatory body can do is to absorb them, find a way in managing or controlling their activities. It will go a long way in checkmating them, and these are some of the things in which they can do. They can ensure or go about ensuring that they are licensed and registered within the body. Esvabon can do that. NICE also is putting one or two things in place also. Like when it comes to the exams, they introduce, come around, do the exam so that you can be part of the system. So these are some of the things that can be done. Then also they can adopt, as in giving them enlightenment, that is making them understand more, like what we are doing now, educating them more on what the profession is all about. This goes a long way in also as in giving them a new way of looking at practice and how to deal with the profession. Then we have the aspect of mandatory continuing professional development. These things are key. If it's put in place and we are able to, the regulatory bodies are able to absorb them and make them begin to see things from this channel. When they see the light, they would also follow suit in that manner. So these are some of the ways in which they can be managed. They can be check and balances in what they are doing.
Okay, so let me ask you some of your other questions. Do you also have agents in your profession as well?
Am I going to call them agents? It's more like so we have another name for them.
Okay, well,
So
so
that you have
what's the other
them-
name? So that's
They are mostly called quacks.
okay. So
Quacks of you.
Quack's definition is just like somebody that is not a professional, who is not registered,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, but carry out the same assignment.
Yeah.
But if you have a quack surveyor, unlike the case of an estate surveyor, an agent does not need an estate surveyor to carry out the duty. But if you say a quack, because I know every survey plan must be registered. So how did they go through the registration?
Okay. For quacks, most of them have surveyors that are registered, that signs for them. So
Oh, okay.
we can still call them like agents. Like I go outside, get a job, I'll bring in it. Yes, yes.
So, but does
Yeah.
that have any implication as regards to the authenticity of the survey plan?
Okay, so for the registered surveyor that is about to append his or her signature on the plan, for some quacks, they go to the sites and they just bring
The drawing.
lines, the drawing to the surveyor, and you don't do your own due diligence and just append your signature on it. You're tying yourself down to the job, because when the problem comes tomorrow, guess what? Nobody will see the quack. Yes, your contact will be on the survey plan. So you really want to carry out your due diligence.
Yeah,
before
okay.
signing.
So in Nigeria today, we can say we have issues of land disputes everywhere, most especially in Lagos. And let me use Ibeji Lekki area as a case study, because I know that's where we have a lot of people investing.
Yes.
People tell them, agents will say, oh, come and buy land. And at the end of the day, they fall victim of scams and all that. So what is the role of land surveyor in solving these land disputes we have today in Nigeria?
The role of surveyor in settling land disputes will be providing professional advice or expertise, which will involve being impartial in mediation and arbitration, and providing objective evidence in litigation.
Okay, so that means we can also count on land surveyors when it comes to arbitrations, because to be honest with you, I've noticed that there are a lot of land disputes, most especially on these axes. As a matter of fact, a lot of people consulted me and asked me some questions about land disputes and all that. So although most times I notice that people don't do their due diligence very well, and that's why they fall victim of all these scams and all that. So now, the issue is this. A lot of people will go to courts. They will do this, they will do that. And at the end of the day, they will still tell you that, Shebi, we gave you a survey. Shebi, you have this. And you know, most people will have the survey. That thing has actually happened to me before as well. I bought a property and they gave me a survey. I just got the survey. My name is on it. Everything is okay. And I went home. I think I have a document, not knowing that I don't have a document, to be honest with you. It was later when there was disputes on the land and somebody came around and said, oh, this is my land and all that. That was when I discovered that, yes, the survey plan that was given to me, somebody has actually done a survey on that land before now. And they gave me a new survey. So which means for me, the person that has the older survey has the land. right? So for me, I don't have the land. So is there any way I can verify that, yes, this particular land has been sold to somebody before? So that I will not go ahead and do my own survey, and at the end of the day, another person will now come with an older survey and say, no, I own the land. Because even literally before you even go to court, it's very simple. That somebody has a title on it, he has a survey on it, and you have a new survey. When we look at the date, maybe 4 or 5 years back, and me, I have it in 2025. So how do you think one can identify this when you are giving a new survey?
Okay, so when you're giving a new survey, there should be a supporting document telling you that the person selling this property to me actually owns it, and not just by survey plan.
What's in case of Omonile?
Comes with due diligence again. You pick your coordinates.
Okay.
Go back to Alausa.
Okay.
Does it tally with what they have there?
Okay. So are you saying, can we use coordinates on a survey plan to determine if another person has done survey on that land before? Not
only coordinates. You see, when you carry out a survey on a property, you're given a survey plan, but it doesn't stop there. You're supposed to be given evidence of lodgement, a stamp from Lagos State, saying, okay, we have received this survey into our system, because there's a platform where it's logged in.
So, okay, this is what I'm asking. The question is this. Now, for instance, I bought a land and I did my survey. Probably the person that bought it earlier is not even within reach. And the person has not. This is common with all these Omonile. They will not tell you when they need money, they will just go ahead and sell one land to you and all that. So can I use that same coordinates at let's say, Surveyor General's office to confirm if another person has done that survey on that same particular land before? Because Omonile will not give you or tell you that somebody has actually bought it before. And I think that's what the problem we have in Lagos today, selling lands to 2, 3, 4, 5 people. If you go to court today, that's what you will see in courts. A lot of people will lay claim on 2 properties, same property. Now, for somebody that has done a survey, I've not registered my title, but I have a survey plan, which is showing my name. Now, because I was actually away for about 2-3 days, or let's say 1 year, the Omonile needs money and they sold the property to another person. And I went ahead to do my own survey as well. Is there a way I can identify at the Surveyor General's office that, yes, a survey has been done, lodged on this property before?
Like I said earlier, when you are getting a property, don't just buy the property only with survey plan. Let there be other evidence showing that this property has been lodged. Immediately you are not saying that, it should be a red flag. Also, when you are buying from Omonile, like the Land Use Act and the laws Lagos State came with in 1993, whereby the government will allow surveyors to carry out family land, then they will give back a portion back to them. Omoniles will still go ahead in selling all of their land. So you want to be very careful. You're picking the coordinates when it still goes back to the government. When they are charting it, does it fall within the portion that was given to the family? And also you need a professional lawyer.
Oh, okay.
I mean a lawyer. Okay. Yes, in carrying out your land transaction. You just need the services of these people so that when there is problem, you'll be able to hold the Omoniles responsible.
Oh, okay. So I think that's fine because that's what is actually trending today. And a lot of people are crying now as we speak, to be honest. A lot of people are crying now as we speak. Now, I've noticed, most especially in Lekki area today, a lot of developers build their houses and I see probably instruments on the sites. And also when road constructions are going on, I will see instruments on the sites. Your land, I think Theodolite or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what to use.
Station.
So Antuta Station. So I see them on sites. I see them on the roads when constructions are going on. Do land surveyor has anything to do with construction?
Yes, please. Land surveyors have a lot to do with construction. Apart from just getting the boundary survey, land surveyors help in setting out the structure that has been designed by architects or engineers. Say, if it's a road construction, the civil engineer designs, the surveyor comes and gives the angles, the distance to those that are actually carrying out the work. Then now for a built environment, the surveyor will be on ground before that, after carrying out the boundary survey, there is a need to carry out topographical survey to know the contours, the highs and lows of the land. This will help in planning drainage, in road network. Water gathers in some places. If you carry out the topographical survey, it will give you a deeper picture of what the land looks like. You know where it's high, where it's low. You'll be able to plan your drainage according to what you have. And where you need to fill, you fill.
Okay. So are you saying, is it the duty of a land surveyor to actually determine the height of a building? Because I noticed that when you go to some areas in Lekki or in Aja, you will see the road level higher than the building, which invariably, based on experience, they said that will cause flooding. So is it the duty of the land surveyor to actually checkmate the height of a building in building construction?
Yes, please. It is the duty of a registered surveyor, but it needs to be hired. I mean, if you're inviting a surveyor to come and carry out the survey of a land, he's going to do that and go. You are going to hire his expertise to carry out the topographical survey of the property you want to develop, which is something that most people are not enlightened about. And that is because probably in Lagos State, we have an averagely leveled land. When you go to other states where it's rocky or hilly, you really need to carry out topographical survey.
Okay, so are you saying that I cannot look at the road level and say, oh, this road is just like this now, then my foundation should just be as accurate as it is? Is this something I can do with my ordinary eye?
No. Don't just look at the road that is closer to your property. Look at the main road, the major road.
So you have a reference point?
Yes, there's a reference point. You transfer the height from that side to your building. Then you want to build higher than the major road. You don't just build higher than the street in front of you.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
I think that's where most of our people are getting it wrong.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's what caused flooding, most especially in Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So let's come back to our estate surveyor. So we have been talking about real estate transactions and the role of estate surveyors in real estate transactions, which I know very well that after the all real estate transactions, the property has been purchased. It comes to some people buy property to invest, to rent it out. Some people buy to flip and all that. Do estate surveyor has any role to play in this investment process?
Yes, there are lots of roles to play within such transactions. After you've probably gotten the property in which you are purchasing, one of the roles, before I go further, like what she's saying, there is need for due diligence, especially when you are acquiring the property at first. You need to conduct the search. That's why it's not always advisable when you are getting the property, you didn't do the necessary search. You need to be sure that possibly the documents you are giving is okay and is appropriate. And like she said, that the site plan will not suffice. It won't be just the site plan. You consider the receipts. If you are given a receipt to show that, okay, there is a link. Once there is a break in it, most likely it's not genuine. So it will tell you if what you are doing is appropriate or otherwise. So going back to an estate surveyor, the role in which we play when it comes to after you've acquired the property, one of the major rules is the aspect of like I said, valuation. It's a major role in which we play. We value the property. We check the property for defects. You have to be sure, even after buying the property, you need to check the property appropriately to know what are the things that are necessary to be done within that property to put it to effective use. And like if you've been able to, an NC surveyor will also do feasibility and viability study of it. Then we also do the aspect of development analysis. What do you want to do with it? So you develop, if you're developing, what it will take to develop it and every other thing that is required. We come in also in areas of disputes, because there are sometimes that even after you've acquired the property, there will still be one dispute or the other. So an estate surveyor will come around into such a situation to possibly arbitrate or carry out the necessary mediation if there is need for that to resolve such issues. So those are some of the basic things in which an estate surveyor does even after acquiring properties. And there are lots more that the estate surveyor can do. We still have the aspect of management of the property.
Okay.
Because when you've acquired the property, you need someone to manage the property in such a way that it continues to bring better returns on it, especially if you're acquiring it for investment purpose. So when you do that, when you involve an estate surveyor in helping to manage that property, it helps you with ensuring that necessary repairs are done. Then selection of tenants, that's depending on if it is you're renting it out on renters. So selection of tenants, getting appropriate tenants for the property. Then it also helps you with the aspect of resolving issues that may come up. Because in one way or the other, when you're managing properties, there will be one issue or the other. There will be tenants dispute, there will be need for instant calls on doing prompt repairs. We have corrective maintenance, we have preventive maintenance, and the likes of it. So there are some maintenance that requires instant response to. So an estate surveyor stands in gap. The landlord may not easily come around at that time, or the buyer may not have the time to do those things, but an estate surveyor is always handy and in place to ensure that those repairs are being done and the property is kept in a state that it brings return on the investment in which you have made. So those are basic things we do.
All right. So that means estate surveyors, they do a lot in real estate transaction.
Yes.
Okay, so finally, and this will bring us to the end of the show. Let me ask you this. A lot of people has actually fallen victim of real estate transactions in Nigeria. So what is your best advice for Nigerians, most especially people in diaspora? Because trust me, larger number of people that have issues with real estates in Lagos, especially today, they are people from diaspora because they are not here. So what is your best advice for them when it comes to real estate transactions?
Well, my best advice to people involving in real estate transaction would be that they should employ or get good hands. When I mean good hands, professionals. Let professionals undo every of your real estate transaction. One, it saves you time. It saves you values. When I mean time is that you don't waste time on the transaction. You don't end up just wasting all your time. We've seen situation of people that had already acquired house, built it, and every other thing, and they had to go through a lot in losing that property, even after some number of years that they've been staying in the property, due to the fact that they did not observe due diligence. They didn't take the professional aspect into consideration. They didn't employ a professional to undo their issues. So for those that are in the diaspora, the best bet is to, as an employ a professional to undo your transaction from the inception, from the first stage. Like I said, for an estate surveyor, if it's an estate surveyor that is handling it, one of the things he will do is he will do the property valuation, he will carry out the inspection, he will do his due diligence, he will help you with reviewing the documents, so that it won't just be, okay, when they gave you this document, you didn't embark on a due diligence to check, to chart it, to check if there are any encumbrances or lien on that property that can affect you in future, that can possibly make you lose part of the land. While other professionals are coming in, possibly the architect trying to build, if it's a land that has been encroached into, one, the design may be beyond the encroachment, and there will be need to take it off eventually. If when enforcement agencies begin to act upon the real regulatory framework that are on ground. So if the people in diaspora, if they've employed the hands of professionals in handling all these things, there would have been checks on the land with the land surveyor to ensure that, okay, the land is appropriate, and there would have been the right design. The architect will be able to come in and say, okay, this is what the design should look like, and this is what it can contain based on the land that is approved, not extending beyond the boundaries. The quantity surveyors will do his costing accordingly. In the same way, the lawyer would have perfected the documents accordingly in that way. And I should have mentioned the estate surveyors ahead of time, but because I'm talking from that preview. So an estate surveyor would have undergone every necessary things to ensure that the land is put to good use and is yielding the best investment in the long run. So they will not be scammed. So the best advice is for you not to sink your ship, employ a professional.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So let me also ask you this. With all those duties and role of estate surveyors and valuer, which I know definitely all this role comes with a fee. Don't you think this fee we add to the value of the property? Or don't you think maybe probably when I want to sell the property tomorrow, I will put all these fees together and say, oh, because I did all this, I want to sell my property at this price and at this price. So those who think those fees will also accumulate to an increase in price of property.
It will be worth it. Reason why I'm saying so is, if you acquire a land that has disputes, that has issues on it, you will spend more in resolving it. But if you acquire a land that a professional has handled, ensuring that all those issues that should have been a major problem has been handled before time, it will help enhance and help your project to appreciate them more. And like we are aware of it, as an essence of your land appreciates more. Interest in land possibly also appreciates more. If it is just a registered deed that is on it, you can compare it with that of a certificate of occupancy that is registered. So it keeps appreciating the more. And by the time you put in every other factor, you'll find out that your time and value that you've put into it is worth it, and is also of great benefit to the person.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So let me come back to you, Surveyor Esther Dako. Can I take a survey plan as a title document?
No, sir, you can't take a survey plan as a title document.
So what is the importance? What is the importance of the survey plan?
The importance of the survey plan is to tell you the said owner of the portion of land, the information on the land, maybe there are buildings or any other structure on the land, then to tell you the status of the land. If it's a land that you can perfect the document, to tell you the location of the land and the geographical location. But for you to go ahead, there are other steps. We start with getting a stamp with the government that the plan has been lodged. Then you can go ahead with your COO, other necessary documentation. A survey plan alone
cannot be considered as a title document. But it's very important. You can't perfect a title document without a registered
survey plan.
Why do you stress the register?
You can't do anything with the survey plan that is not registered with the government, because you're trying to perfect your document with the government.
Yeah,
so
okay.
your plan has to be registered with them.
So that means survey plan is more
Key.
important.
Is the
In
best.
They are,
title.
it is the bedrock.
Okay,
But
that's
there
why
are
you call
other
yourself the
imp-
bedrock. I mean, your profession is the bedrock. All right. So, okay. So let me ask you, and this will also be the end of the show tonight. What is your advice to anybody trying to invest in real estate as far as your profession is concerned?
My advice will be patience. Honestly, you need patience a lot, because you want to get the best. You must be ready to put in the resources, do your due diligence, and this includes monetizing, because you need to hire professionals that will help you carry out, that are good at what they do, in order to help you get value for your money.
Okay, so I think I asked that same question the other time. I've heard people saying, my property has a registered survey. And they will tell you, oh, it's not the same as this that does not have a registered survey in terms of price. Don't you think, because I know your job will definitely come with a fee.
Yeah.
So those who think that fee will also affect the price of property.
Definitely. Just like the status of land, the title documents on a land affects the price of a land. A land that does not have a title and a land that has a C of O, they can't be the same price.
Why?
Because of value
Okay.
that comes with perfect documents
Okay.
on a land.
Okay.
Everything has been done. But for a land with no title documents, you are the one doing everything. You're starting scratch, and you're not even sure if it's a land that can perfect the documents.
Oh. Okay.
Like I would also want to add to it.
Okay.
The process is cumbersome.
All right. So thank you, our listener out there. We want to appreciate you for this opportunity. And to everybody out there, you've actually heard from professionals. They've actually guided us on what we need to look out for and the role of each professionals in real estate transactions. This is very, very important for us to know, because I will take the word patience. Patience is very important. For you not to run into a problem, you need to consult a professional. Consult a professional today to guide you on any real estate transactions you want to go into. It's very, very important. It might look simple, it might look juicy, but I know for sure you will not regret it. So thank you for coming to the show. We want to appreciate you for your time, for the opportunity for people to hear from you and to share from your words of experience. So once again, I have here Estate Surveyor and Valuer Kayode Adeyeye. He's an associate member of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyor and Valuer. And I also have here a female surveyor, the giant in the industry, Surveyor Adaku Esther. She's also a member of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyor. You are welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Thank you. From here, we'll draw the curtain of the show. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us on all our social media and we'll provide answers to all your questions. Thank you, and do have a wonderful day.